Hi, Stan with 3D PT. Last week's been busy for me, so I didn't get a chance to do a cast. But I did finish a couple important projects. So the first one is the Enable Raptor Hand. So for you that don't know, Enable is a charity group that makes 3D printed prosthetics, mainly prosthetic hands for children around the world. They have a drive right now to build 1,000 prosthetic hands and donate them to Mexico. I'm not at that point yet, but I've been working on the Enable hand for a while. So let me show you the completed version. So right now this is completed, but I'm not going to use this one to submit to Enable for their approval. I just printed it way too rough and hacked it together too badly to make it usable, really. But it was a good learning experience. So this is the cuff and palm and the knuckle and fingers, tension box and clip. So the way you keep tension on the retractor is through this box here, and these pins actually adjust with these tension screws. And I used wax twine, but they recommended using nylon, so if I rewire this, I'm going to switch to that. So let me put this on here. So the way this works is the tensioners here go underneath the fingers here to the edges, and then you just bend it, if I can get, and it opens and closes. So I hacked this together last minute, so it's my own stupidity more than anything else that it doesn't work real well. But with some time I could probably clean this up and get it tensioned right, because you could adjust the tension either by retying everything in the fingers or by adjusting them here on the tension bar. And to open them, it's just got some elastic cord that runs over the top of the fingers to open it. And another thing they recommend is that you get a special kind of prosthetic foam to line the inside. Didn't have time for that, so I just had some scrap fleece lying around. Just hot glued that in, and this is it's a weird type of Velcro. It's actually designed for gardeners, so it's not as sticky or aggressive as normal Velcro. But you could get this in actually a camping store. They sell it to hunters to find their trails. And again, I just hot glued it through the slots in the side here. And I have it held together with the plastic pins that they recommended. I put a little bit of hot glue in them just to keep the pins secure on both ends and keep them from popping out. Again, this is a first draft for me, and next time make sure to read every instruction, because it said to print this at 2/10 of a millimeter thick. I print at 4/10 thick, and these at like 3/10 thick, so they're really coarse. And even after a lot of polishing, they still rub real bad against each other. So it was a definite learning experience. I'm going to take this to trade shows, but when I make with Enable, what you do if you want to volunteer is you make one, you send it to them for approval, and then they basically approve you as a volunteer. So this one, yeah, might clean it up a bit, but this might just stay as a personal item for me as for trade shows. So there's that. So material-wise, this is about $50 worth of plastic, and I had some problems printing the palm. It just liked to fall off. So take your time on this, because it will definitely take time to do the big things like the palm and the gauntlet. Fingers were okay, but again, print this at 2/10 thickness, not 3/10. Just makes it look finer, and you don't have to finish it like I did last week with an iron. And yeah, I still need to play around a lot, but you know, a working hand for $50 in a week's worth of time is amazing, considering a hospital grade one granted it's made by professional or orthopedists, but you know, $50 plus, you know, maybe a week's worth of time if you kind of space it out, because they give you the file in one big thing to print, and that would only take you like 3 days straight. But I just wanted to try it with different colors, so. And this is all in ColorFab XT, so it's been very strong and very forgiving of all my hitting mistakes. So, if you want to quote this for me to print, send me an email at 3dpt.club, stan@3dpt.club. The other thing, I've been doing a lot of orders for 3D hubs, and so I decided just to, you saw the video a couple weeks ago where I made a replacement idler block, and I put that in. Now the next thing I want to have replacements for is the gears. So with lulzbots, they've got two types of gears. They've got a small herringbone one, which is actually hidden behind the step motor there. So it's this herringbone gear. So I'm printing two of these, and I'm also going to print a large herringbone next. Now again, I'm going to print it in clear ColorFab XT. I want it clear because the last thing I'm going to print is the actual block of the idler for when the main tube finally wears out here. Again, it's just so I can see what's going on. And I found out a cool trick today. So if you want this stuff to show up clear instead of the kind of milky color like this, change the resolution, because I was printing this at 0.2 of a millimeter. But if you print it at 1/10, it actually comes out fairly clear. So this is the gear, two of the small herringbone gears, and you can actually see through them to a certain extent. So with this part, the other thing I'm doing, because it's the gear, I really wanted to make it as strong as possible. So I changed the layer height. Normally something like this, you know, you could get by printing at 0.2 millimeter. I made it 1/10 and made it a solid infill at 100%. Print speed's the same, and I am using a brim just because it's such a small part. And also, don't forget, if you change your filament, to change the filament here in Cura. So I'm using 1.75 millimeter filament. I've had this XT for a while, and it's good filament. It's getting kind of old, so I want to use this first, and I also want it clear. So you can see the parts being printed here, and it's actually got a section here for the set screw that holds it into the step motor. And again, this is cool because it's actually printing very clear. So unfortunately, because it's back here, it's not going to show up, but it hopefully will let some more light in here. The next thing I'm going to print is the big herringbone gear. And I was going to print both of these together, the big and the small gear, but it was going to take 8 hours printing it solid. So I just wanted to get this out of the way, have this, and go from there. Some other things, let's see. Oh, I should show you the Rubik's Cube. So on a project I've been working on is the Rubik's Cube for the blind. And so this is fully printable, but it does take some assembly. So I've actually started on it. And let me show you the second maker cave. Now I just had to finish putting these all together, so some pieces like this you have to glue together with super glue. So yes, cool thing about super glue is it's activated by moisture in the air, and it also is activated by moisture in your fingers. So yes, I stuck myself to myself a bunch of times, but you could actually do this so it prints around itself, and you have to assemble it with the pins so they Can't do this with one hand. So it actually rotates. So this is the first part of the Rubik's Cube right here. And believe it or not, it's actually all going to glue onto this little cube in the center core. So once all these pieces cure for a bit, I'll go ahead and finish assembling that. These pieces and the corner pieces of the Rubik's Cube. So I'm probably not going to be able to work a cast with that. But, and yes, I printed them all the same color because I was trying to get rid of some filament. And also, you know, it's a good challenge. Another thing I'm doing, I've been getting a lot of 3D hub orders, so thank you for that. My hub is 3D PT on 3D hubs. So if you want any of these items, like an enable hand, or let's say like a custom thing for your printer, like making a decorative piece, or replacement parts, give me a call back, or send me an email, stan@3dpt.club, or you could go to my website, 3dpt.club. Yes, it's a CLUB domain. Could not get a .com. Someone in Michigan got that. Otherwise, have a good day. And if you want to see anything else 3D printed, I do have other filaments like PLA and bamboo fill and wood fill. But I also got a sample of carbon XT and copper fill. So I'm still playing around with what I want to do with that because they're samples and they're expensive. Thank you for watching.